Hello, Gabe Heller here again. We're driving around. There's my wife Sarah,
Hey.
and we've heard there's been more damage in our neighborhood overnight to some businesses. We're gonna go check it out and see how they're doing, see if they look like they might be open still or what. So far, there hasn't been any houses burned down that we know of. Coming up upon the Super USA here now. I don't think they have been a gas station for quite a while. I think they might have been at some point in the past, but now they're just a convenience store.
Yeah.
Looks like they've even repaved the lot since there were pumps there, if there ever were. They got one door boarded up. The other door is.
It's worth noting the history. The Super USA is a place where cops would kind of show up and crack skulls when there was, folks standing around on the block.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I didn't really know that.
Yeah, so my bus from work used to go past there, and there are cops in that lot all the time.
Gotcha.
With, having heated conversations with dudes, having dudes in cuffs, yeah. So if I were a member of the community who had to worry about the police every day, I would have some beef with the Super USA.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're the ones who call the police, or if the police just know they can find people there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, to what extent is the business compliant with what the cops are doing in their parking lot?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. We're going past the cemetery here. So far, there have not been very many deaths. Any deaths? Other than the first one? The bad one?
Yeah, there was a shooting. So the first night of the really intense unrest down on Lake, there's a pawn shop owner on Lake Street who
right.
inside his shop with a shotgun, and when someone tried to break in, shot the guy and killed him.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That guy's in custody. Okay, so here's Dallin and Penn.
This is where we heard there was some
fire.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Now, this was a gas station. The pumps are still here. I bet you can't buy anything from them because they probably need electricity to run.
Yeah.
But they haven't taken them out, and I don't know if that might be dangerous, but it might also be good. It might mean they're intending to keep them running. But yeah, that one's completely burned out. There's a little more structure to it than the one we were at yesterday. Yeah. So the building is still kind of standing, and the rubble's a little more contained. Looks like they've got police tape all around it, so you probably shouldn't go in.
Look, those propane tanks are empty. Jesus. They must be. They've been burned.
Yeah. They're using propane tanks as their to hold up the police tape. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking rough.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to keep bodies out of there at this one, so.
Yeah. But we'll get some footage of it as best I can. I should turn around the viewfinder so I can see what I'm getting. Let's see. I mean, the Clark on the corner by us is still operational. Last we knew, so
we should go by there.
There's going to be a lot of business there, I guess. Now it's going to be one of the few places left you can buy gas in our neighborhood, so everybody's going to be going there, I guess. Hopefully that'll mean there's enough presence watching it that won't happen to them, because then we'll be out of gas places.
Move along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking through all this that we should, because we put up the tires on the bikes, but it might be a good idea to ride the bikes around the block a little, make sure that they're in good working order, because we might lose the ability to travel by motor vehicle for a while if there's no place to buy gas in town.
Yeah, I mean,
we want to save it for folks who are really reliant on it,
Yeah, well, I mean, we'd have to go to Northeast or Columbia Heights.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose the nice thing about cars is that once they got fuel in them, they're pretty mobile. So
yeah. We just don't want to let them get too low.
One of the water tanks fell over.
Oh yeah, we filled some tanks with water just in case there was a lot of fires and the water pressure went down. I want to be sure we had enough water. We go to Burning Man regularly, so we've got these big water tanks in the attic, so we figure why not fill them up.
Yeah, big 7-gallon aquatators. If you want to know, if you want to be prepared for your own your own possible apocalypse. I'm pretty sure they're 7, not 5.
Okay.
That's what we use. But I threw a couple in the back because after the holiday fire that we looked at yesterday, we came home and I suited up with broom and shovel and threw some water tanks in the back and went back to try and clean that up a little bit.
Now they're not still full of water, are they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Full water.
They might be leaking then.
I mean, maybe they're pretty well sealed.
Yeah, well, they have.
But
So there's an air vent thing on them, and if it's not closed, and then there was one that the air vent thing had broken off of.
This is gonna shock you, but I did not put that one in my car.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, it might be dripping. When we stop, we'll go right to that.
Well, so far these bus stops seem to be okay. We saw some broken windows on ones down on Broadway. Not that the windows are the most important part of the bus stop, but there was a lot of glass around.
Maybe we got important business.
This is the Boost Mobile.
Yeah.
How's Emily's doing?
Emily's is right there.
Emily's is our local breakfast restaurant. Looks like they're
Side strong.
okay. Looks like they're pursuing the strategy of a lot of our favorite businesses, which is they're trying to stay open and hope that keeps people away from doing bad stuff.
Emily's has a minority-owned sign in the window, which I find
I'm pretty sure it's owned by Italian Americans.
Yeah, it's run by first and second generation Italian Americans.
So I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of minority.
Hey man, I am not here to tell anybody whether they're minority or not.
No. I mean,
if they think being American immigrants makes them like a minority category, then I am in support of that. They are protected, like immigrants have protected status, I think. For,
oh, okay.
Employment and things.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Like nation of origin, I think, is one of the categories. So if that's the criteria.
Weber Mart is still open. I've never been to the Weber Mart.
Coming up on North Market, which is our local grocery store. The grocery store we didn't hit a lot in the south.
Yeah, but we have a lot fewer of them up here, so. Well, this was one of the places that was on the list of places that people were asked to come help defend.
Yeah.
On the first night. I'm assuming they must have been there again this last night.
For local context, yeah, here's folks doing supply drops.
Is this where the
yeah.
where the center is for dropping off supplies? No.
No.
Hamilton Manor is where the voting happens in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that they also do various community supporting actions at times like this.
Yeah. For context, before North Market, this grocery store went in, this area of North Minneapolis was one of the largest food deserts in the country. Obama came here in 2013?
Yeah,
roughly?
he spoke at this big police station over here, which we might drive by later to see what they're doing.
It's not a precinct, it's just a station.
Yeah, but it is also like the gang strike force headquarters for Minneapolis,
yes,
so I don't know.
So when Obama came to speak there in like 2012 or 2013, he spoke directly to the food desert problem that we had up here. And so that grocery store was built using all kinds of philanthropic money to alleviate that problem. And it is an excellent grocery store. It's where we do all of our shopping. It's a little bit more expensive than Cub, but the staff are like way better, and they treat their employees way better. So we like to patronize them. Here's the end of our block.
They also have on Wednesdays they have a half-off produce day, which is something that Cub has never done.
And they're right adjacent to the senior center, so they have like special shopping assistance for seniors, and a community center in there, and a health clinic. They were doing COVID screening there the other day before all this started.
Yeah, for anyone who has at least one symptom.
Yeah, free testing for COVID.
Looks like the subway the door is boarded up, but the lights are on inside, I think.
Yeah.
It says we are open. I don't know about the Joy Luck restaurant. That's one of the few places that delivers. We're down to like just 2 or 3 delivery places. I mean, a bunch of places we're about to start delivering, and like we're starting to give us flyers. Yeah.
And then COVID happened.
Well, and also COVID happened, and they wanted to deliver more. People weren't stopping in. But now this is happening. I'm not sure if people are still going to be delivering. It's like the door is broken at the cafe on the corner.
They've totally metal shuttered up the liquor store. Here's the Wells Fargo. I heard that they had a break-in.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the Clark station.
Yeah, so we're still doing okay.
Station
anywhere near us.
In the city, yeah. And
they're doing a lot of business, not surprisingly.
Yeah, they've put steel shutters up over their door.
Oh.
But I just saw the door.
Well, they may have always
so
been there. I don't know. Never really been there when they were closed.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, it's a glass door, but anyway. And then back on our relatively quiet residential streets.
Do we want to take a pass by the police station and see what's going on there?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay, cool.
41st, which is this block anyway. So. This is also the tornado zone. We had a tornado here in 2011.
And you can tell there's a big swath where there are no old trees left. They all got knocked down.
If you hand me the camera,
sure.
I'll show. Like, you can see how the sky is real open here. That's where the tornado went. And then if you look this way, this is these are trees that were there and survived. that were there and survived. And then they kind of get thicker as we drive this way, and that's all a result of that tornado. So this neighborhood has had its share of hardship for sure. So here's the police station. Looks like they've got themselves a Jeep. There are men in camo over there. Oh, okay, yeah. So there's some National Guard here. Yeah. Now the other side of this block is like a school. Yeah. Kind of nervous about slow rolling past. Yeah, you can go faster. Our friends Sadie and Ricky live right on the corner here. Mm-hmm. But I don't see any sign of protesters here yet. No. It's kind of early in the morning, though. Yeah. A lot of the people who are protesting had it pretty late at night. There hasn't been any protest action in North at all. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been obviously there's been some damage down on Broadway, and I'm assuming, and we saw people coming back from what we assumed was just also a peaceful protest. Yeah. Because this was like the next day, during the day. There doesn't seem to be much violence during the day anymore. That's not so much true in South. It is what I've heard. It's so hard to know what's going on. Yeah. When I was coming back from the gas station yesterday, that place where we saw those bikers on Washington had swelled to about, I'm guessing, 300. Lining both sides of the street, you said, right? Yeah, lining both sides of Washington Avenue for a block or two. Tight packed in bikes. Those pylons are lying over. The trash and recycling finally arrived today. It was a holiday week. So normally they would have shown up on Saturday instead of Friday, but they didn't show up till Monday. And we had a pretty full recycling bin too. Yeah. Here's the. Oh no, it isn't broken. It's just the windmill. Makes it look like it's been shattered. So that's good. That's our only neighborhood cafe really, and it's. They had a hell of a time. I mean, the building was damaged by the tornado, and I think somebody else took it over and. I don't know if it was somebody else took over the cafe anyway, and they keep reducing their hours. They just aren't doing enough business to stay open. And it's tough because like you want local businesses in your neighborhood, right? Like you want the money to stay in the community, people who are running those businesses to live in the community and get to know people. And I'm sure there are barriers for people in our community trying to, rent commercial property. Yeah. But on the other hand, you don't want to have no businesses. I was thinking about this with that gas station, because like what happened was eventually there's no one there. There's all these massive cleanup efforts happening for places that have been vandalized and torched all over the city, and there was nobody at that gas station but me. And eventually, the owner showed up.
And it turns out the guy we were talking to earlier was just the manager.
I'm guessing he was the manager.
Yeah.
I didn't actually ask, and I did not see him again. But I asked him if that was his store, and he was like, yeah. So I'm guessing he was the manager and probably lives in the neighborhood. And the owner showed up, and he was what looked to me like a wealthy white guy from out of state, probably an investor who has businesses probably scattered all over the city.
He said he was from Los Angeles.
He talked about being from Los Angeles. I don't mean if that's like.
Well, that might have been originally. Yeah, I don't know.
Or if he like lives in Los Angeles and flew in. I don't know. But he showed up, and I asked him if it was the first he was seeing this, and he said yeah. And he it didn't seem like he really cared. Like he was annoyed, but he was not emotionally affected by it that I could see. And he asked me to leave because me being there was a liability. So, and that honestly, that just speaks to me about some of the like broader picture problems that we have. And I don't just mean Minneapolis. I mean that the whole country has, where the neighborhoods and the businesses in the neighborhoods aren't together. Like that guy and whatever the parent corp for Holiday is, it feels like they are pumping money out of my neighborhood by providing services that we really do need. Like we needed that gas station for like driving around our diesel vehicle. But I'm angry that the person in my neighborhood who's providing that service that I need does not care that much.
Yeah, he's not tied to the neighborhood in any way, so, I mean, you know, whether he decides to rebuild or not has nothing to do with us and everything to do with his bottom line.
And it just shows that every dime we've spent at that Holiday got pumped out of the neighborhood to make that guy rich, rather than supporting businesses and enriching the community. And like in broad strokes, I feel like that's what a lot of this is about. Like I don't know that like individual protesters are thinking about that, but when I look at what's happening, I feel like that's an underlying problem in everything, the urban blight and the disconnect between the police, who also don't live here. Something like 90% of Minneapolis cops don't live in Minneapolis. It's that problem again, only commercial rather than law enforcement.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly. Anything else?
No.
Okay, well, that's it for today. I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. See if there's more stuff we want to drive out and check out.
Stay strong, folks.
Bye for now.
Bye.